Hello, welcome to the Carousel of Conversations. You're in for a real treat. Join us as we take a spin through the past, present, and future of all things Disney. Here, where there's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, just a podcast away. Let the podcast begin.
What is that stupid face?
I was trying to imitate Noah from
Me?
last week.
No, not you, Jesslyn. This
I
guy.
wasn't even looking at RJ. He's over
But
here.
I'm gonna be on this side.
And we're right here.
So listen. Who's over here? Who's over here
RJ.
in the YouTube?
RJ.
Me.
That's RJ, and that's you, Jesslyn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I can
And
like
down
just like
there
hand
is
something
Noah.
up to you. Jesslyn, take this.
Okay.
Take
Got
this.
it. Got
There
it.
you go.
Got it.
You dropped it.
I don't even know what to say to you.
Where's that grip strength?
I don't have any. I'm weak.
We are starting week 2 of the YouTube episode 27 on a normal note, I guess.
This is average, really.
I don't know. I don't know that we've ever been described as normal. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We are our own group of people for sure.
Have you ever been described as normal, Noah?
I'm wearing a Mickey and Friends riding Pirates of the Caribbean boat t-shirt button up. I think that answers your question.
I love it.
Adventureland here. Yep.
I've got Haunted Mansion with the
I
villains
also have
on
Astro
it.
Orbiters. And I have Haunted Mansion. It's everywhere. I have all of Disney World
I've
on
got
me.
the villains on the stretching portraits.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
Very
pretty
cool.
It is cool.
Matches my background and my famous portrait as of last episode.
is
in the
that
last 15
guy?
minutes.
Who is that guy?
That is my father, Father Bear. It's whenever Haunted Mansion used to do like the double portraits where you could take like a ghost picture of yourself and a normal picture of yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
You need to
Well,
get little
Oh, who goes?
oils
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
for your diffuser in the back. So it
Yeah.
can like smoke. Yeah.
Uh-huh. It doesn't smoke up a lot, but I can get like a humidifier or like a fog machine to do
Hey.
it even more.
Do you know a good place that you can get some diffuser oils with really good scents?
Maybe.
What
Just
would be
maybe.
possibly a Haunted Mansion smell?
Oh
in there.
yeah, there you can get a Haunted
Yeah,
Mansion
it's called
smell.
Haunted.
Is there a
You can
pirate
get
smell?
Pirate's Life.
Can you get an Astro Orbiter smell?
Don't believe so.
Oh.
But you
It's not
can
worth
get
my
a
money then.
Soren smell, like different kind of things from
And
Soren.
Flight of Passage smell
Yes.
has
Yeah, the
every one of
orange
your
groves.
favorite smells.
The orange groves from Soren is awesome.
Soren?
I love that one. Yeah.
I myself
one's really good.
love Flight of Passage or the, what is it called? Banshee.
Banshee.
And
Banshee. Flight.
Banshee's good.
Pirate's Life are my favorite ride
Yeah.
scents. Ride scents.
Yeah. For
Now,
sure.
Polynesian, on the other hand,
Can't go wrong with
that's a
that
great
one.
smell.
That's a great one.
That one's a good one too.
So if you
Yeah,
need
I
a
like
car
that one.
freshener, fragrance oils, candles, wax melts, little diffusers for your wall outlet, they have basically everything at Magic Candle Company. And you can use our code.
Carousel Pod for
There it is.
15% off your order.
We are so good at this advertising thing.
Okay, so I have to admit something. My students started watching our video, right? And one of my students was like, I only got like 5 minutes in because it like made me really uncomfortable. I was like, okay.
How you feel now?
Oh, but no, I do want to say our response to our first YouTube video was way
It was
bigger than I thought it
super
was.
cool.
I think as of right now, we're recording on Tuesday night. We are at like 79 views. And
So all 79 of you did not order a single candle, and we're disappointed.
But it's not too late to order one now.
Oh my word. But in the 79 views, we had 19 new subscribers to the channel opening day or opening week. And so I'm just beyond excited, and thank you so much to everybody who did subscribe. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing. And thank you so much for those. And still, we had our regular listeners listening on the podcast and downloading it on the audio version as well. So not only did we have our YouTube audience, but we still retained our podcast audience and had the same number of downloads as normal. And so I can't tell you how exciting that is to us. And we just have another way to communicate with you guys and to be able to hang out with you guys. And we just love doing this. And so we're excited to see how this all goes. And maybe someday we'll get on TikTok too, whenever I get time to start editing shorts.
Tickle tack.
They must really like us, guys.
Yes, and we appreciate it.
That's why if you're new here, you should continue watching, because if like however many people downloaded it plus the 79 views were willing to watch us,
yeah,
that says something.
Exactly.
And
It does.
if you're leaving now, we don't want you here. I'm so sorry.
Noah.
Get out of
Noah.
here. Huh? What?
unless you come
We
back
want
and
them.
keep listening.
Stay.
Oh, forgot. Kind of did where I was
So,
going. It's kind of like
We don't
open road.
have show notes for tonight, as you can tell.
And it's really stressing Jessalyn now.
I am very overwhelmed that I don't have a sense of direction, which is why we keep going on.
No, this is our
monorails about
normal
stuff.
going on. Normally it takes us about 5 to 10 minutes just to get into the topic. So this is pretty normal.
Yeah, this is normal average. This is average for our normalcy.
I don't know. I feel very overwhelmed. I'm like not mentally prepared for anything that we're going to talk about tonight.
Well, tonight is going to be an easier topic because we're going to be talking about a subject that actually a coworker of mine brought up when she was talking to me about how she hadn't been to Disney World in quite some time. And she's like, my boys are a little bit older. My sons are a little bit older. They're in their early 20s to mid 20s. We tend to like more thrill rides and roller coasters. And so we tend to go to more like the Six Flags type parks. And so I don't know that we would ever enjoy Disney because, the last time they went, it was like they were doing character meet and greets and they were just little kids and they were doing interactions and it's a small world and stuff like that. But now they enjoy the high thrilling rides. And so they're like, we just don't think we would ever enjoy Disney World. And so that sparked the conversation in my mind that I thought would be good to have here on the podcast is Disney World just for kids or for families, or is it for everyone? And what would be available for those of us who are adults who enjoy those thrill rides and who don't get motion sickness on them? But for those who are a little bit older, even like it's not just for little kids, but also for older people as well to be able to enjoy. And so I kind of wanted to bring up that topic. Is Disney World just for kids? And if not, what are some things that are available for adults who enjoy that thrilling type sensation? And is it all going to be just Winnie the Pooh Bear type themed rides, or is it going to be something more that's out there? And so I kind of wanted to just break that down. Well, everybody, if you enjoy thrill rides, then please skip Country Bears.
Listen, that is a thrill in of itself.
No.
It may not be a ride, but it sure is thrilling. Trixie comes down from the ceiling, everything gets serious.
No.
So I kind of wanted to do just a brief breakdown of every single park, and for us to talk about, like, if you're an adult going without any kids, or your kids are all older, and don't have any young kids coming with you, what are some things that you can do that you would enjoy at each of the parks, so that we can kind of break it down based on each park and talk about some things that we enjoy from each park. Now, I do want to preface this. We are a family friendly and we have a lot of kids who listen, so we're going to keep everything family friendly here.
Including myself.
Yeah.
But I don't listen to it. I'm just a part of it.
He does. But we do want to keep everything family friendly and for kids to listen to and enjoy. And so we're going to keep everything above, like, it's not an adults only, the secrets behind, like, it's not anything like that. It's just an
Was really
adult
in the
talk
utilidors.
I'm
conversation.
really uncomfortable right now. I think I'm going to turn this video off.
Why?
It's a joke, RJ.
Just need my DS. Here you go.
Yeah, thanks. I'll take that.
Come
I
on.
should have like
There you
pulled
go,
one
there you
out.
go. I have a grip strength like squeezy thing. Do you need it? Like
I'm good.
I can get
Oh, my
you
word.
it.
I've got some stuff
Next
over
time.
here.
All right, Jesslyn, if an adult tells you they want to go to Magic Kingdom, but they're not bringing any kids, what are some things that you would tell them that they definitely have to do? If they've not been to Disney World for like 10 years and they're looking to go to the Magic Kingdom for a day, what are some things that you would tell them as adults only that they would enjoy?
I will preface by saying that RJ and I did Disney, just the two of us, for a very long time before we even brought Bella. And
Yep.
we did it pre-Bella, but also after we had Bella, we brought her for the first time January of last year. And so, 4 years, she was 4 when we took her for the first time. So we were going to Disney prior to that, and it was just the two of us. So I will start by saying that Disney is definitely not a family park only. You can go as just an adult, and Disney adults that's a real thing, and they exist, and I am one of them, and they are like the funnest people to be around. And also along with that is just Disney does everything so well, and they're very professional with everything, and we can get into all of that later, but it just makes going enjoyable. Like, you don't smell trash, you don't, everything's really clean and taken care of and done with, that's how Walt wanted it, done it with, almost perfection. And so, and they've held that throughout the years, and so it just makes it enjoyable in general to go. But if I was going to Magic Kingdom without any kids, now that I've gone with kids, I think my advice is just enjoy it, and you don't have to be worried about the stroller and the stroller parking, ride whatever you want to ride, get Lightning Lane, jump those lines and eat all the food and just enjoy it. But I would say probably as an adult going, which I would make it an exception for something like the Halloween party that we went to, Mickey's Not So Scary.
Yeah.
I had to meet Maleficent, right? So that was on my bucket list. But I wouldn't go out of my way to meet characters on an adult only trip,
Right.
Because it just takes up a lot of your time. But I would hit all the big rides. I would hit Space Mountain and, Pirates and Tiana's now, and make those the priority of my trip.
Yeah. Yeah, and I will say that I agree with you to a certain extent. Like,
no.
It's nice not to have the stroller, but I also really like the stroller at times, too.
Yes, I do too. Yeah. But I just mean, like, you don't have to worry about getting through a crowd with a stroller.
Right.
And you don't have to worry about, just people being around you in general.
Yeah.
I hate, and I think that we should do an episode on our icks of Disney, right?
That's a good idea.
That is a good idea, right? And I hate it when people are just like taking their time and like walking really slow, and I'm like trying to book it to my next ride, And
I hate it. I hate it whenever people don't ride Country Bear Jamboree.
Ride it
that's an
or
ick of
watch
mine.
it?
It's both, honestly.
Noah, we didn't even go and watch it when we went together in January.
We didn't have time.
Yeah,
some people
yeah.
didn't.
Because
Some
it's not
people didn't wanna
great.
watch
It's
it.
easy to skip.
The Nashville Bears maybe, but the original Country Bears are never a skippable attraction.
All right.
Listen,
Noah,
when we go back to Disney this coming January, the three of us, We have to do some sort of bit in front of send Noah in there by himself all day long.
We could do it like I could put like a rope around you guys and I'm like yanking you towards it.
Don't think the cast members would approve of that.
Kids get leashes with like the little monkey backpacks, so you know.
Yeah. Right.
All right, Noah, what is your favorite things? I mean, you tend to like the rides more, I feel like. I mean, you still do the nostalgia things, but what are some things that you like you and your brother enjoy going on, like that sort of age group would enjoy going with for Magic Kingdom?
So like my age group is definitely more like go-getter. Like it's kind of like a get as many things done possible as you can. So for my age group, like 18 to 25, you know, that range-ish, you want to buy a lightning lane so you can just get everything you can. And you go on, wake up early and get all the passes that you want. You have to strategically plan it so you get like the really long rides. You get a lightning lane for those, so like Space Mountain, your Haunted Mansions, your Big Thunder Mountain. Get those done. Get those a lightning lane. And then you're going to want to, maybe get the slower rides. You know, maybe go on Winnie the Pooh if it has a short line, or like while your next lightning lane is waiting, you're going to want to get those shorter dark rides, and then just keep on going at it. And if you need anywhere to eat, do not go to Pecos Bills. I beg of you, please go to Sunny Coast and Starlight Cafe.
Noah, what is wrong with you? Oh my word.
Pecos Bills is awful. I'm so sorry.
We need show notes. I can't do this. Noah's going off tonight.
But I'm also going to speak for the elderly group real quick, because I feel like I'm also like an 80-year-old in a 18-year-old's body.
You are.
And if I were an 80-year-old, I would definitely get an ECV like scooter thing. Even if you don't need it everywhere. Even if you don't need it everywhere, like just drive it to like from Main Street to Tomorrowland, walk around Tomorrowland, get back on it and go to Adventureland or something.
Yeah.
Those big long hauls are really what kills you kind of. And it's not the like short walks from Space Mountain to, Buzz Lightyear. The brain just fogged out.
Well,
it's like Space Mountain to Buzz Lightyear. You don't need an ECV to there, but like from Tomorrowland to Adventureland, you need something to help you move around.
Well, and two things I'll say with that. I definitely agree. Most elderly people are definitely going with their families. Like they're going with their grandkids. They're going with, their younger kids. And so they're not going to be able to keep up. When you're doing a lightning lane type thing like you're talking about, sometimes that requires you to jump from Tomorrowland to the other side of the park in Adventureland. And so you want to be able to keep up with your family, but sometimes that's going to be a bit of a challenge when you're trying to book it across the park and they're walking 20 miles an hour just to get from one side of the park to the other. And you're just like, I'll have to meet you there. And so that's just that's not enjoyable. So I do agree that getting an ECV and the nice thing about staying in a Disney hotel, and I will plug that as well, is that you can have it delivered directly to your room. For most of the rental companies in Orlando, they just deliver it right to your door. And so as soon as you get there, you have it available and ready to go. And you can even use it throughout your resort and then take it to the parks with you the next day. And so that's really helpful as well. Just make sure you test the battery, because I've noticed a lot of those have some battery issues.
They're very 50-50.
Yeah, but they will swap them out. And that's the nice thing about renting them is, hey, I can't do this. My battery keeps dying, and swap it out. So I just kind of wanted to go over with Magic Kingdom that there's a lot of thrill rides that people don't think about. A lot of times when they think about Magic Kingdom, they think about
we forgot
when
to
they
mention
went as
Tron.
kids.
Tron's one of them too. Yeah.
Yeah, Tron's a good one for every age group except for the
fast rides, not slow rides like the People Mover, but fast rides. You've got your Space Mountain and Tron in Tomorrowland. In Fantasyland, you've got your Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. And then you've got in Adventureland, there aren't really many fast rides, but then you start getting from Fantasyland over into Adventureland. You've got a lot of those nostalgia rides that are just really fun to ride. So I'm thinking of like Haunted Mansion. That's a favorite for anybody. I don't care what age you are or what you enjoy. You've got your Haunted Mansion. You do have your Big Thunder Mountain and your Tiana's Bayou. Those are faster and fun and roller coaster like rides. And then when you get into Adventureland, you've got Pirates of the Caribbean, you've got Jungle Cruise. And then in between all that, you've got like really good snacks. Like we've talked about that a lot, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail with that. But you've got a lot of good food options in between there, from your spring rolls to your Dole Whips to your, hot dogs at Casey Corners, whatever you enjoy. And you think about your time of day. So say you're going for a full day and you're rope dropping to park close for the fireworks show. And so when you're thinking about like Space Mountain, you're probably going to wait at least an hour to get on that ride. Tron, it's going to be longer. So like when you add up, it's a full day in the parks to be able to just sit at Magic Kingdom and ride all those rides. Even with Lightning Lane, you're going to be enjoying your time the whole way through. And a lot of those ride queues are just really super fun. Like they have interactive things that you can do. And then you've got the nostalgic rides. Like, I don't know why, but I love the People Mover. Like, I just think it's fun.
I love the People Mover.
And then I love some of those slow rides. Like, Jesslyn hates it, but I love It's a Small World. Like, I'll enjoy even those smaller rides.
I just get so tired. Like, it makes my eyes, like, really heavy.
Do you want to know a terrifying fact about Small World?
Yes, I do.
At night, okay, since the animatronics are 50 years old, they have to keep the animatronics on at all times with the music playing in order for them to not stop working.
No.
Yeah, so they don't turn them
all
off.
Night.
Yeah, it plays all night, and the dolls are dancing all night because if they turned it off, they don't know if they would come back online because the tech is so old.
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
That's terrifying.
That would be fun to watch.
I will say, too, that another thing that I enjoy doing Disney that's like with kid free, though I do this with kids as well, but it's easier to take my time through the shops. And like, I'm talking like not just like the big emporium, right? I'm like the little crystal. What's the crystal shop called? You remember on Main Street?
I don't even remember.
Is it called the Crystal Shop?
I think it's the Crystal Shop. I think it is.
And then like the Pandora shop, and then the
the dress shop,
the Dooney and Burke stuff, yeah. And then there's back by
Memento
Gaston's Tavern. There's like that art shop where you look at like really like I get nervous taking Bella in there. Like I'm like don't touch anything, but those types of things are especially if you're into the arts and you're into those types of merchandise. That's really nice to do as an adult too.
Well, and then the shows sometimes can be a little more enjoyable. While I love watching the fireworks show with Bella and I could watch it over and over again, it's also difficult because sometimes I feel like I miss out on the show because I'm too busy watching her. And so going without kids sometimes can be a little bit more fun because you get to enjoy just watching the show and just enjoying it for what it is. So that sort of stuff is enjoyable as well. But I did want to move on, so let's just jump right into Epcot. Now, this
I've got one. I've got one. Just right off the top of my head, because I have the itch right now to be at Epcot currently because it's my favorite festival, and that's Flower and Garden. And I am not a nature person by any means. Like, I hate nature. Bees, things like that, not a fan.
Allergies.
It's terrible. But these topiaries that they make of these Disney characters, they are so good. And so it's almost like a scavenger hunt at these festivals, especially Flower and Garden. Just going around and like, oh, look at that one. And I think I felt like a really old person last time we went for Flower and Garden because I was taking a picture of every topiary. Like this is
me
like
too.
I would just have like this phone. All my photos are filled with all these pictures of like these green statue. What am I gonna do with it? But I was like so amazed by it, and that is something that RJ and I obsessed over. But Bella would have been like, cool.
Yeah. Well, even like the other festivals, like Festival of the Arts and Food and Wine and all those, you've got your different food types that are unique to those festivals. But I also really enjoy some of them. They're a little more expensive, so you have to go in knowing that. But like some of the food that I've tried from those festivals are really, really good. And so I've enjoyed that. And then their unique drink offerings. Like we talked about it, I think one of the episodes where we talked about Epcot, where we went to Canada and we tried had unique like apple cider type drink that was
Well, that sounds good.
really good.
It was really
And
good.
it was exclusive to a festival that we went in, and they were offering it for free as part of the festival. So we walked into this little like lobby area. We just grabbed one of the apple cider drinks from off the table and walked out, and it was so good. So like there's a lot of that you have going on at Epcot with those festivals, and they've pretty much got one just about all year round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So each time you go, and then like the Festival of the Arts, they've got different artists who come in and bring in their works, and they've got like
So
pictures that you can hang. Like
That's
a
what
Thomas
this is right
Kincaid.
here.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
is
right
that
here.
from-
It's a
Like,
picture of Oswald. Yeah, it's from Oswald. Let me pull it down.
Okay.
Watch out. There we go. It's of Oswald.
Yeah, that's cute.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that sort
if you
of
look
stuff.
in here, it says Epcot right here.
Oh,
not
how
sure you
old
can
is
see it.
that?
At least like 2020, I think, around that
Okay.
time.
Okay.
So yeah, that's really.
I don't have time to put it back up.
But
Get
those
back to
sorts
that
of
later.
things are really cool to do, and I enjoy those as well. The countries are a little more enjoyable because you don't have to push a stroller through them, because those shops in each country are just ridiculously tight to walk through.
They're very cool. They're
Yeah, but,
very cool
like-
though. Like all the architecture inside and the interior design of it all. It's very
and then the
like,
unique products that you won't find anywhere else at Disney too. Like
You know, I'm finding that RJ and I's personality, we love like scavenger hunt type things. Like we collect Funko Pops. And the reason we collect them is because like he has a certain Funko Pop. He goes for the Spider-Mans. And he's got a few Disney ones behind him. And then I go for all the characters that Chris Pratt has played in like TVs,
Yeah.
movies, or whatever. And we both have found that we just love going into like these shops that have the Funko Pops so that we can see, oh, do they have a Chris Pratt character that we don't have? Because it's like super hard to find it. So on our, I think it was our honeymoon, RJ introduced me to pin trading. And so before every trip, we buy like a bag of pins and we carry them with us in the park. And we took our time. We went through every pavilion. Like, it's kind of like that thing I talked about at Magic Kingdom. Like, I took my time through the shop. I really looked at what was going on. And then we found the pin station and we traded pins, you know. And we just took our time and we walked and we enjoyed Epcot for what it was. And we didn't feel rushed or worried about snack time or nap time or whatever the case was. And that was, I remember really enjoying that.
Yeah, I feel like pin trading is another adventure that I neglect to talk about a lot on here, but I've been doing that since I was 8. And I
Yeah.
have a whole collection of Disney pins. And then Jesselyn and I started our own collection of Disney pins as well, where we've been collecting them since we get married. We've gotten married, and we have like a pin board in our living room of just all the ones that that are the completed collections that we've gotten over the years. And so it's super fun because it feels like an adventure. And Epcot is the best place to do the pin trading because they've
Yeah.
got the most
Yeah, it
stations
really is.
and shops and. Yeah, so
There's
that one's
so
a
many.
lot
And
of fun. On
Epcot
top of
also
that,
has all the best food and the best drinks as well. You know, like your
Yeah.
everything is there, and so that is usually the most popular park in the evenings. Because especially for the locals, I'll never forget the one time RJ and I were on the Skyliner going from, I think it was Hollywood Studios to Epcot. It was a quick ride, and we got on the Skyliner with an elderly couple who had retired in Florida, and they were just going to Epcot for dinner at night. You know,
Yeah.
like that was just
Yeah.
their thing. And
That's so cool.
it's very popular for the Epcot's the popular park in the evening for the locals as well, because the food
Yeah.
is so good, you know, and it's just a relaxed environment.
No, what do you think of the rides? Like, what are some good rides that are at Epcot exclusively? Now, Epcot doesn't have a lot of them, so what are some cool rides that you enjoy while you're there?
So like my taste is a little weird in rides, as you guys know. Country
Figment?
Bears, you know, Figment. Yeah, I love Figment. It used to be better. I'll let you know that it used to be better. Then they ruined it with the whole science people and like scientist aspect of it. But there's also Soarin'. That's a great one. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flight of Passage for really queasy people. Okay,
Yeah.
it was before Flight of Passage, but it's just like you're going over these really pretty scenery. They fixed the leaning Eiffel Tower, so you'll
Yeah.
get to see a leaning Eiffel Tower because that used to
That's
be like a
true.
warp thing. It was really funny. Then they also have Test Track, which is opening up this summer, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Revised revised Test Track.
Yeah.
You also got Guardians, of course, which is Jesselyn's favorite ride in the entire world.
Do you
I've
remember?
heard people say they hate September and love the
Everyone wants to rule the world.
yes.
Everybody. Oh my word. I remember.
That one's
Okay,
awful.
the song makes the ride. Okay, like
It does. It really does.
I mean, I remember even before I got September, like I loved all the songs, and then I got the everybody wants to rule the world, and I remember just like kind of sitting there in the cart, like this is this is slow and boring. Then I will also never forget the moment I got September for the first time. I think everyone in probably the building heard me scream to the top of my lungs of how excited I was. I got September.
Disco Inferno is also very good.
Yeah, Disco Inferno is good.
If
I've
you get
gotten that one.
Disco Inferno is very good,
Yeah.
and Conga. Both of
Yes.
those are very good.
I like the I ran and I ran. That one's good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
RJ, what's your
Okay.
favorite one? Your favorite song
for
on Guardians?
Guardians? Oh, I would probably still say September as well. I really
was
do
really good.
like September. Yeah. I also think that a lot of people, now I can never do it again, ever, but I think a lot of people do enjoy Mission Space. It just depends on which side you get. I just don't enjoy it because I get sick every time. But for some younger kids, maybe.
It's like a lot of my friends went on it and they were very unimpressed with the orange side.
Yeah.
So it's almost like there's this age between like 10 and like 21 maybe. Orange is fine. After that, it is the worst thing in the world for some reason. Because just to let you know kind of what it is, it's like you're sitting in an office chair, okay? And then let's pretend a TV monitor becomes 3 inches in front of your face. That is the entire ride.
Yeah.
And then you're sitting there, and then like there's like a centrifuge things where it like spins around really fast and it makes the outside things go outside and whatever. Basically, you're in one of those and it spins you and you feel pressed into your seat for half the ride. So you're pressed into your seat. There's a TV screen 3 inches in front of you, and that's the entire ride. And you go to Mars and you get back home safely. That's the ride. If that seems like something you would like, go for it and then get a doggy bag afterwards. If that doesn't sound like something you want to do, don't do it. If you have any doubts in your mind to do it, just don't do it. Just please. Save the cast
Now-
members some time cleaning a mess up.
I will say, like, even for people who are thrill seeking, I know that Frozen doesn't sound like a good ride to ride, but I do really enjoy the Frozen ride as well. Like, I think that the ride itself is fun, and then I also think Ratatouille, the ride track, is just unique and fun.
Yeah,
too.
a lot of
And
a lot of
so-
adults enjoy Ratatouille simply because it's a different type of track. It's new, and they like
Right.
that aspect.
Yeah. And then the snacking around the world. I mean, come on. Like,
Yes.
you
Yes.
just go and get all the different snacks, and it's just worth it for that. I do want to move on. Let's go ahead and talk about Animal Kingdom next, because I want to do Hollywood Studios last.
I don't have anything
Animal
to say
Kingdom-
about Animal Kingdom.
So I really struggled when I was talking to my
I'm kidding.
coworker about it. I think Animal Kingdom was probably the most difficult park because I don't think that it's a full day park for
Yeah.
adults. Like, I think if you're going with a group of adults, go with the intent of making it a half day park and then park hopping somewhere else. I think it's just not worth it. Or like, go take a nap in the middle of the day and come back in the evening and look at Pandora at night. Like, make that your rest day before you go at it hard to Epcot the next day or something. Because Animal Kingdom doesn't really have a ton to do. Like, that's the downside
Honestly,
to it.
I do think though it has more exciting attractions
Yes,
than
I agree.
Epcot does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of its attractions are more like thrill seeking, let's say, because you have Flight
Yeah.
of Passage, you have Everest, you have Kilimanjaro Safaris a little bit, just because it can make a lot of people queasy. Like, I
Yeah.
know a lot of like motion sickness people, and they're like, that ride made me sick, kind of.
And then
spoiler
you used to
alert,
have
it's actually
Dinosaur.
just a GMC SUV.
Yeah.
The ride vehicles, they're GMC SUVs convertiblized, and they're just
Right.
on very rough terrain. So
Yeah.
they're not
Yeah.
like off-roading vehicles. So you're not gonna get the smoothest ride, and chances are a giraffe's going to step in the way of your vehicle, and you're going to be out there for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Animals come right up to you, right?
So bring
And then
snacks onto it, please.
you also had, I mean, they just closed it down, but Dinosaur, that is a
It's not closed
thrilling
yet.
ride. Well, it
It's
will be
not
this
yet,
year.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then
By the end of this year.
that'll become Indiana Jones, and I think Encanto Land will be good, or whatever it's called. I always call it Encanto.
South
Land.
America land.
Yeah, but I think that'll be cool. I think thrill rides, though, you're right. Like you've got Everest, you've got Flight of Passage, and you've got that's why am I drawing a blank?
Dinosaur.
I think that's it. Dinosaur right now. Those are really your only thrill rides. My coworker had said like she didn't really enjoy the like Lion King stuff. Some people will, some people won't, like the shows and stuff that are there. But the one thing she did say is like Phantasmic was something that everybody should see at the end of the. Oh,
Yeah.
wow, I'm in the wrong park. Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, you are.
I'm in Hollywood Studios.
But if you have a little bit of money in Animal Kingdom,
the tree,
if you're okay,
show.
if you're okay to spend a little money in Animal Kingdom and you want a nice dinner next to Pandora, so like the bridge to Pandora's right here. Right here, there's a restaurant called Tiffin's. I'm not sure if it's a reservation or it's like you can get up there and get
It
in there.
is
I'm
a
pretty sure it's just
reservation.
daily basis. But it's like one of the higher end restaurants at all of Disney World. It's not the highest. That's in Grand Floridian. That's technically Magic Kingdom with Club 33, but we're not going to get into that because that's a whole discussion. But Tiffin's, I've heard, is very good. Has just overall great stuff. It has good beverages. It has good food. It has good bread. Everything's good, I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's more adult dining because you have to dress up for it.
Right.
yeah. Okay, so Animal Kingdom, I could go without it, but
Animal
I think
Kingdom
you
might
should.
be that good park where you do it in the morning and then that night you go to Epcot for dinner.
Yeah.
Like RJ said, or a pool day
even
at
like
the resort.
Pandora.
Yeah.
Go take a nap and then come back to Pandora at night and do Navi River Journey and
Yeah.
I think
out
it's an
there.
all-day park, but that's because I like the niche stuff. So
Well, no,
Right.
and that's what I'm saying.
some
Like for
people
adults
might
who are
like
looking
that.
for thrill,
Yeah.
that's not it. But for like us who love the Lion King show or even the Bugs Life type experiences, like I enjoy those things. Kilimanjaro Safari, that's fun.
And I
So-
think a lot of
and
these
then-
things you have to consider, like, what do you enjoy? Like, obviously, we're talking more about thrill rides, but we are Disney adults, so we just love being in the atmosphere and just
Right.
soaking it in and taking our time and enjoying it. And of course, that goes along with if you have good weather and if you're going at the right time of the year and all that stuff. Like those play in part, but like Disney's our escape. Like
Yeah.
people are like, it doesn't seem like a vacation. You're not relaxing. No, we are. We are very relaxed when we go to Disney.
I feel like anytime we go anywhere else, we're stressing because it's like we don't know what to do to fill our day. And with Disney, I feel more relaxed because there's a whole theme park of things to do that are enjoyable to us. And so we don't even have to really think about it when we go. We just kind of enjoy it for
Right.
the
Right.
adventure that it is. But Animal Kingdom, if you're looking for thrill-seeking things and you're not a Disney nostalgic adult like we are, then
Yeah.
maybe skip out on that one. But I want to jump into Hollywood Studios because I already jumped into it sort of with the Fantasmic. Oh man, I'm really struggling here. But yeah, definitely the Hollywood Studios is probably my favorite park when it comes to thrill rides and just different adventures. So like you've got the front you've got your Rock and Roller Coaster and your Tower of Terror. You've got in Toy Story Land. I think that Toy Story Mania is fun just because of the competitive nature. Like most adults get super competitive in there, including Jesslyn and I.
I saw someone 3D print a Toy Story Mania trophy. And you can put someone's name on it and the year and the score.
Yes.
We need that for our next
We
trip.
need to do that. So every
Yes.
time we go there, we can I or RJ can print one out when we get home about who was the leader and who
Yeah,
got the
so
best
we
score.
have
yeah.
a tradition, this little family of ours that we have here, that every time
Yeah.
that we go to Disney, the winners take a picture of the thumbs up in front of Toy Story and losers take a thumbs down. And so, I'm sorry.
You probably can't see this on the video. If you can, that's even better. But on Apple computers, if you put your thumbs up, it does like fireworks or different
go
things.
off in the background.
And so we can see it on here, but I don't know if it's going through to OBS.
I don't think it showed on OBS.
Funny.
Okay, anyways. And that really distracted me. What were we talking about? Oh, when we have the competitions, like we just like, we make it a thing, right? So if we had trophies, that would be even better.
Well, and then in Toy Story Land, you've got your like Slinky Dog as well, which I think is a fun roller coaster. I don't think it's a boring one. And then you've got to jump over to, you know, Star Wars, the Star Wars section, and you've got Rise of the Resistance. And then for your Star Wars fans, you've got the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, where you get to pilot the Millennium Falcon. So that's just a blast in and of itself. And then you've got your other nostalgic things, like if you're an enjoyer of that, you've got your Muppet stuff. The Frozen Ever After show, we only did it because we were bringing Bella, but honestly, it's hilarious. Like, I might even consider going as an adult. But
you
the
need
Indiana
to cool
Jones,
down in the summer.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
And Hollywood Studios has a lot of great shows too. So you've got the Indiana Jones show, and you've got the Beauty and the Beast show, and Frozen and others. So especially for
and Fantasmic.
Fantasmic, right? But I was thinking things to do during the day. Like if you've got older people with you, they don't want to ride the thrill rides. They might just want to sit and watch the shows, and that's a perfect park for that.
Right.
And when it goes back to everything being done super well, like these are like stage production shows. They're not just
they're like musicals. They're not like
they're
the
hired to do that.
Yeah.
Well, and you've got to go early to get into Fantasmic to get a good spot.
Yeah,
But
you do.
really, there is
That's
no
true.
bad spot, but like you've got to get in pretty like a good amount of time to go use the restroom, because you might be stuck in the middle of bleachers with 100 other people.
Right.
And so going to that show early enough and with enough time is going to be important. Then you've also got, like, I think they're coming out with a Star Wars fireworks show or laser show, if I'm not mistaken, from what I'm hearing from the rumors.
So I believe that on the was it the Chinese theater, they have one already made that's Star Wars themed, and it's very, very cool. It basically, they do projections on top of the Chinese theater, and they actually halfway during the show, they have these giant spotlights that turn on, and they're red and green, and they clash together and are like lightsabers in the
That's
sky.
cool.
It's very cool.
I haven't seen it in a long time because I always go to Fantasmic. I mean, I can never miss out on Fantasmic. But aren't they moving, or aren't they doing another show now in the Star Wars section?
In Galaxy's Edge?
Yeah, in Galaxy's Edge. I think they're doing a new show. I am hearing rumors.
In Disneyland.
In Disneyland.
I think they are in Disneyland for sure. They
Okay.
possibly might bring it over to Hollywood because it's a very easy installation. Because
Right, it's the
recently
same
Disneyland
thing.
just opened a permit and they just put in a projector. It's like a 5-10 minute show, and it just basically shows off the Star Wars story from the first episode to the last episode on the spires behind the Millennium Falcon. And just like a projection show on those spires. But also, I would like to say,
I saw that.
yeah, I would also like to say, if you have elderly people going through or people that are getting nauseous very easily, Star Tours is not what you want to go on.
Yeah.
Millennium Falcon might be something you could do. Millennium
Yeah.
Falcon is a lot easier than Star Tours is. So
Yeah.
if you're
I would agree.
kind of like, if you can't do Star Tours, but you could just barely do it, you can definitely do Millennium Falcon. And if you have people that do not like drop towers, okay, or don't like that feeling sensation of going down really fast, like on a roller coaster,
Don't do Rise.
I do not recommend Rise of Resistance, or Tower of Terror. Tower of Terror is a little more self-explanatory. Without any spoilers, if you don't like simulators or like any of that dropping feeling, do not ride Rise of Resistance.
But it's
Or Star
so
Tours,
fun.
yeah.
So do it anyways.
Rise of Resistance is amazing. Take the Dramamine, get the little patch behind your ear. Just do it.
I would say that that's one thing I will give a side note for as an adult is that I love Star Tours. I love it, love it, love it. I think it's a great ride. I can't ride it anymore. I wish I could. Even with the
I love
patch,
Star Tours.
with my vertigo, I just get sick every time. It's one of the few rides that, like, no matter what, I could take Dramamine, have the patch, all of it, I would still get sick on Star Tour. So if you struggle with motion sickness, don't do that ride. It's horrible.
We've mentioned it several times. Hollywood Studios is not a food park, but a restaurant there that would be really good for adults to go to is 50's Prime Time.
Yeah. If you got a good
and the
group.
Brown
If you've
Derby.
got it, yeah. I've never been there before, but
I've heard they have
Quick
really good
serve-
salads and other food, so.
yeah.
Quick surface wise, Rosie's is good too. Like the All American.
Right, but you're not gonna eat at
strawberry
Hollywood
slushy.
Studios like you're gonna eat at Epcot.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
No, I would agree.
True, yeah.
Yeah.
You need to sit down and find an actual meal to eat at Hollywood Studios. Epcot,
Right.
you can find a new snack every other country that
Right.
you would like.
Right.
But Hollywood is you need to sit down and eat something because they just don't have the snack menu.
Right.
Yeah. But I think that this is a good trip. Like, if you're going as a thrill-seeking adult, I think that this would be the layout that I would take. And you're not doing any of the character meet and greets. You're not doing any of the little kiddie rides. This would be, if I were going tomorrow without Bella, this would be probably the track I would take from Magic Kingdom to Hollywood Studios. All those rides and attractions, those would be what I would do. Now, as a nostalgic Disney adult, I'm going to do everything. Like, I'm going to do
Right,
Living with
right.
the Land and Three Caballeros. I'm going to
Living
do
with the Land.
like People Mover, and I'm going to do Spaceship Earth, and I'm going to do all those things because I just enjoy them. I'm going to do the Tomorrowland Speedway even without Bella. I just enjoy all those things.
By
But
himself,
that may not
because
be for
Jocelyn
you.
will
I've
not be
never
doing
I've never done them.
Noah, you have to stand with me on this. We will not do it.
I'm standing. Actually, I'm not standing. I'm sitting.
But I will say, like, if you are a Disney adult like us and you don't care about the thrill rides, then that's a way that you can do it. But if you are a Disney adult who does care only about the thrill rides, then there is something for you as well. And I think that you could really enjoy the parks.
And I think along with those lines, you know, inside the parks, everything that we said is very true. However, your stay will be even better if you stay on property. And
Oh, yeah.
I will die on this hill. Like, stay
People
on
underestimate
property.
how helpful on property really is.
Yeah, I mean, because they bus you to the parks, and then it's a whole environment within itself on property. Once you enter in that bubble, like, you are in a different world, and that's what adds to the enjoyment of the trip is how well everything is done. And it's, you know, we're probably a little snobbish with it now, but we've got a amusement park local here in the area, and as much as we enjoy it, we go, right? But it's maintained by teenagers, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
like, it's just not done to that, you know, Disney perfection. And so we often find ourselves, well, it's not Disney, you know? So, Disney just does everything so well, and they keep it clean, and it is family oriented, but they also have so much there for the adults as well. And that's when you just can relax and just embrace your kid, you know, your inner kid, and, you know, reflect on all those memories that you've had with Disney in the past.
Yeah. And it is fun to go without your kid, but I will say that we have the best Disney kid in the world.
We do.
And
We really do.
We enjoy going with each other, but
I
we
am pretty
really
great.
we enjoy going with each other, but we definitely enjoy going with our kid more. Like,
Yeah,
we've
even
always
we-
enjoyed Disney.
Went on one trip this past year without Bella, and we said, we don't think we can do this again.
It's not that Justin and I don't love each other or do anything. It's just that we just really we just really do enjoy going together with our family, our whole family, and just doing it that way. And so, yeah, it's fun and it's enjoyable, and we do have a blast every time we go. But if you are looking for that thrill seeking, that has stuff for you. If you're just looking for shows and restaurants to eat at, man, it's got a lot for you.
Yeah.
If you're a little kid who enjoys character meet and greets and and getting to see Anna and Elsa. There's something at Disney for everyone, and they don't leave anything or anyone out. And it's going to be a super fun experience for everybody. So don't think I need to go to Universal, or, I mean, if that's your thing, do it. But like, a Disney World is going to be a whole nother level of excellence, and it's going to be a whole different experience. I will say, as a travel advisor, one thing I've learned is that the hotels are not the expensive part of Disney. And so if you're worried about that bubble, like, I could find hotels for like less than $1,000 to stay at Disney World, and you still get that great bubble experience. But the tickets are what's more expensive. And the only discounts that I could get as a travel advisor is if I bundle your hotel with your tickets. If not, you're going to end up paying more money for a hotel outside of Disney, and then you're not going to get that same Disney bubble experience. And then your tickets are just going to be ridiculously more expensive because you're not getting that bundle discount. And then you have to pay the tickets outright. And if you're bundling it, you can just make payments with the hotel over time. So like, people think, oh, the Disney hotels are so expensive. Disney hotels are not expensive. Like, I can get a hotel like
of course,
moderate.
it depends which one you go to.
Right, yeah. If you're going to a Polynesian, you're
right.
spending like, a ridiculous amount no matter what, like $800 a night. But if you're going to like,
it's worth it.
when you're going to like,
Those coconut meatballs are.
When you're going from a moderate resort like a Coronado Springs to a Value, you're looking at $170 to $190 a night. And look, in Orlando area, that's pretty much what you're going to get everywhere you go. Mm-hmm. And we've tried that one time when somebody else paid for our trip to go and be chaperones, and it was not a fun experience because the hotel was just awful. And like, they're trying to sell Disney stuff in the lobby.
I was like, I just go buy me a room at Disney.
And it just wasn't done with excellence. Like, no matter which hotel room you stay at Disney, you're going to get that clean. You're never going to find a dust bunny in there.
It's updated. Yeah. It's just so good.
It's so much better to stay on property and in the bubble.
And there's so much perks for staying on property too. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of perks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And one thing I want to mention
like
too
about entry.
I didn't think about until now, but with the one thing that's nice for adults is Disney has these after hour events, and like sometimes if you stay on property, you can either get into the park early than everyone else, or you can stay later than everyone else. But also, you got things like Mickey's Not So Scary, which is an after hour event, which goes really late, like into midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. And as much as we enjoyed it, Bella was like out by 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we stayed, but also she was asleep. And so it's like, okay, I'll go ride this and then you can come back and ride it, so some of those things are more fun with just adults going. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have to deal with rider swap.
Right.
Like, you don't have to deal with, hey, you go ride this and I'll stay behind with the kid, but you can actually ride it together with your friends or your family that you're going with. And so we enjoy that aspect of it as well. Like, Jesselyn and I get to ride every ride together, but like with Bella, sometimes she's not tall enough to ride some of those rides. And so we're left with the fact that we have to ride it separately, or she goes and rides it and then I go and ride it. And that's just not as fun. So like, there are those times where I do enjoy that a little bit more and enjoy that flexibility a little bit more, where we don't have to worry about those types of things. Is she tall enough to ride this ride? Anyway, that's really going to do it for today's episode. We appreciate you guys hanging out and watching this with us, and we hope that this helps you if you're thinking that you are not sure if you're going to go to Disney as an adult and you're not sure that you're going to enjoy it without any kids. But we definitely think that it's a fun park for everybody of any age, and so we just kind of wanted to bring this. We thought it was a good topic to talk about and to discuss with you. As
take
it is
the trip.
a fun thing.
Take the trip.
Yes.
Just take the trip.
Do it all.
Just do it.
And
Buy
do
me
it
a
with
popcorn
PhotoPass.
bucket.
It's still fun with PhotoPass.
Get the
and
photo
all those
pass.
pictures.
Do not go to Disney World without a photo pass.
I agree. Anyway, we really appreciate you hanging out. And again, we're so overwhelmed with how many of you watched our YouTube video and subscribed to our channel. If you haven't already, consider subscribing, or just follow us on a podcast platform like Spotify or Apple Podcast, and keep keep listening on there as well. We definitely appreciate everybody who enjoys the show, whatever platform you enjoy it on. We just love producing this content, and the more people we can reach with it and help, the more we enjoy it. And so seeing that on YouTube was just makes it all the better, and makes us want to do more content. And so, yeah, this is something we enjoy putting out for everybody. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's episode. Thanks so much for hanging out. We'll be posting this episodes every Monday, and you can email us at carouselpod@gmail.com. Don't forget to use the Magic Candle Company discount Carousel Pod to get 15% off, like we did with our terrible ad at the very beginning of the episode. Thanks so much for hanging out. And
That was a good
ad. We are
That
not.
was a great ad. That was a great ad.
It was
because
so good.
we had show notes for it. We didn't have show notes for this episode, so we did that.
Hey, I feel like it turned out okay for no show notes. All right. Well, anyway, now we are not going to switch to the same pre-recorded episode or video we played last week.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our show. Before you go, please don't forget to gather your belongings and head over to our email at carouselpod@gmail.com to ask us your questions. Oh, and wouldn't you believe it? You can now bring the magical sense of vacation right into your home. Check out the Magic Candle Company and use our exclusive link with the code CarouselPod at checkout to get 15% off your order. And don't forget, we're here to help you plan your future Disney trips. Just send us a message at rj@famvia.com. Until next time, we'll see you in a great, big, beautiful week.